A mystic romantic cat meditation?
How it would feel like being a cat human. For those who are not familiar with such things as meditations, etc. So what you need to do before I continue is to find a quiet, calm place, and sit comfortably. This is done by the listener, visualizes devoted to what the leader says. Then we go down, calm down. By closing the eyes, breathe deeper and slower. Then we put aside all worldly thoughts, such as opinions and needs etc., that worry and imprison your attention. Do not think of anything else than what the leader says. For a better relaxation, to calm down better, let's stop the everyday life train, and just follow my voice, nothing else.
When playful, isn't very meditative, so let's see what this is, and becomes a journey with the meditation at the end.
I'm referring to a kind of cat human, much like manga and anime cat ladies, but in the reality. Cat ears that is not of fabric, instead it is extra skin, pieces with fur on. Like movie FX instead. It should not matter what gender the follower has, or what age. Oh, there went the train. The point is to visualize what the leader says. See details clearly inside your mind. Hear birds sing. Feel how the green feels to touch. And visualize the smell of the surroundings. For example, the smell of a rose. It may happen that things have impossible shapes and colors, other flowers have a horology color. Then you place yourself in this place, instead of being where you were before. You are in a huge, virgin forest garden, completely untouched, with all kinds of flowers, and even impossible flowers, including large, rhododendron trees, cherry tree further away. Most flowers nearby are huge, and pulsing in their colors. One and another carnation. The biggest flowers are self-illuminate from the inside, with glittering rivers of fairy dust. A deep full scent is everywhere. The blue sky heats up everything. Huge crystal rods is everywhere, and sparkles pulsing, self-glowing, as if they gives a life force to the surroundings, as an invisible electricity that prolongs the lifespan of everything in the surroundings, and makes some cling-like sounds. Here and there are also huge giant mushrooms, some with a swirl pattern, and they are also self-illuminate, but very slow. You find a natural path in the forest of the garden. Between all the big bushes, flowers with glittering fairy dust, crystals bigger than you, and mushrooms big enough to sit on. You follow this path, deeper into the forest, deeper, and deeper, you go. The trees here are almost impossible big, roots and trunk of trees, are wide like bungalow houses, and crowns of trees is too high up to see. It becomes harder to see the blue sky, it feels cozy and warm to go deeper into the good-hearted forest. The path meets an open meadow with a warm sky, and a path that passes by. There are big depths outside the little meadow, and the path. Above the place, where the little meadow meets the path, are 2 arrows of carved gray wood, One arrow is pointing where the path goes, and the other arrow is pointing, oblique, upward, without logical explanation, but the explanation where any arrows goes, has disappeared. When you reach the meadow, you notice that there are many cats and kittens, everywhere in the meadow. You stop, by the bare thought, a lot of super cute fluffy kittens that are super soft to hug, and cuddle down with. These kittens make Sid tickles in you, kittens are ticklish. Some shadows, moves quickly outside the meadow. A shadow lands at the edge of the meadow, in front of a big self-shiny mushroom. It's a lady in a cheerleader-like dress. It must be an old-school cheerleader, since there are texts like WMHS on the top with lines around. And the short wide skirt, has several pleats with several colors in the bottom. She has living cat ears, and tail. Her cat ears makes her look cuddly and ticklish like a kitty cat. She have a long bushy yummy hair, that shines like the moonlight, and her eyes is shiny glowing mysteriously. She stops and seems surprised that you are here. She picks up some cuddly kittens and cats in her arms, turns around, jumps up on the mushroom behind her. And this makes her bounce away, up in the air. You think this is very interesting and decide to do the same. You picks up a kitten who looks directly in you. Jumps gently on the same mushroom to test. You bounce around in the woods, between mushrooms and trunks. Very goofy way to get around, high as low. But you get a better view. You land on a large wooden surface. You see the blue sky. A large bundle of crystals, hovering very high up in the sky. Many large flat surfaces up among the branches of the trees, with flower bushes around borders, probably a 50th giant balconies. The surfaces are carpet coated, thick carpets with round patterns, in each colors as, light ice blue, pastel green, pink, yellow, and pastel lilac. Many cute round windows, in the tree trunks. Some trees grow on other trees, so lakes can be found up here. Several balconies on different levels bind together several whole floorboards, including flower bushes everywhere. On a large round open surface there are people gathered, sitting and talking to each other. They have cat ears and tail, and old-fashioned clothes on the upper body. In the middle is a huge white cat, bigger than a lion male. And there are cats everywhere. Someone besides me says,
"You want to join us? We have so much fun out here. Come on, I can show you around, if you want."
I follow, up to the gang and the big cat.
Few roads lead up here, but many roads lead away from here.
Guests are always so welcome to us. It becomes so nice then. You've got a cat with you, I see. You're not the first today.
Some others appears, who also carry kittens, and who do not have cat ears on their heads. They seem to come from my era, my century. The big cat walks to me and stretches out a paw that touches my kitten, then the kitten starts to shine. The big white cat goes then to the other with kittens, and touches their kitten. My kitten suddenly jumps right into my body and disappears in me. It does the kittens of others as well. My body seems to be becoming filled completely, with a strong bubbling carbonated drink. This is everywhere, and I'm starting to getting someone else's flashbacks. It's too fast to get it all, but seems to be about an abandoned kitten who happened to end up in a car traffic, and then the flashbacks disappears. My mind begins to change, my values change. Having fun and being cuddly suddenly becomes more important than before. It starts to grow from my body. Someone have an old oval mirror, and shows the mirror image to me. I have cuddly cat ears. When I touch my cat ears, I can feel in my cat ear what my hand is touching. There is a jumping movement in one of my cat ears.
You know that this place is an existing mind place, where your physical body cannot follow. Here you can improve yourself, and eliminate unwanted negative weeds. Everyone here returns to their bodies afterwards, whenever we want.
A different kitty cat girl in a cheerleader-like dress has emerged from nowhere, stands wide-legged, and begins to scratch on a scratchboard. Another kitty cat girl in cheerleader-like dress starts to stretch. One of them from my century is getting scratched. A masculine cat human starts biting into a garment. From a positive point of view, this looks very funny, and I suddenly feel like biting in something, just for fun. And then everybody is just going to play with each other.
Sharpening, sharpening, everyone. Now we move on to the next.
Me and about 10 cat people follows the big white cat, leaving this surface, down a wide staircase. On the way down there are large statues besides, some statues' mouths function as fountains. We come down to a big lake, some trees or branches grow leaning up from the lake. Near the horizon there are boats at the sloping trees out in the lake, surely multi-floor boats. This is a green place with many water lilies at the beaches, and light blue sparkling water, with an elongated pier, that leads out to a large open place, out in the lake. The open surface is like a border pier, with a large dining table in the middle. Around the edges, are pink flowers that grow in wide vases that hide the edges, all around. And some are outside on the water. But you can climb down into the water at some places. A refreshing bathing to feel more alive, and a curiosity to explore. And the place has an elongated pier alongside. We goes out to the place with the dining table and pink flowers, follow the elongated pier alongside, to a smaller surface. In the middle of the floor there is a hexagonal flat surface of solid amethyst, about 1.5 meters in diameter. One of us stands in the middle of the crystal, she gets teleported up somewhere. One by one does the same to be beamed up. I placed myself on the crystal, and high up among the clouds, we land on a dock of crystal for the arrivings. Some clouds are below us. And outside, huge rocks of crystals hover, much like when planets have a disk of mini rocks that slowly hover around a planet. Here are several six-angular vehicles of crystal. From the roof down to the seats is translucent. They are anchored like floating boats in the air, but there is no water. Instead there are piers on different floors with stairs down and up. We are facing an opening that has side roads. Inside leads a wide road, straight up to a staircase at the far end. On the sides of the road, there are grasses, flowers, and bushes. Large poles of crystals are found in the grass, bound together at the top, like Gothic architecture, but wider and kinder. The vaults forms 6 angular surfaces, probably more than 10 of them. Furthest to the sides, along the high walls, there are also pointed roofs to these Gothic crystal vault constructions. The roofs has the tip in the middle like a hat, but it looks more like parasols to a beach. Crystals are like glass crosses, with whole fine pieces. One can safely fall asleep if one sit under these crystal things, and admires the place. We walk toward the big, open gate of the stairs, and passes through. There is an open grass area in the middle, with several apple trees, and a small path straight through. The grass surface is framed by a Gothic construction of crystals, which has Gothic ceilings with poles, like vaults after vaults, around the open grass surface. In close-up, all construction of crystals of all varieties is white, amethyst, light blue, pink, etc. Probably every straight Gothic area has a door, as there is a wider vault where we are heading.
You know that you really can't decide over our kitty cat?
There is a large room, inside the wide vault, with side stairs. But the room itself, is 6 angular as the floor, has smaller 6 angular patterns, outer half is pink, inside is amethyst, with a thick white surface between. The walls have a sweeping, Gothic structure pattern. The roof is transparent, like glass, then the sky is still baby blue. There are chairs placed as a circle in the white area, and more chairs stacked up against some walls. Close to the walls and inside the circle of chairs, there are warm candles that gives a golden glow. There is an altar with empty glass, and an empty glass carafe. And there is a lady, who has a long big cock white tidy hair, with nice curious cat ears. Her eyes shines mysteriously. A corset of satin in a bright color, with white lace on the outside, the top and bottom have extra lace. There are lines under the breast part, the stomach part have only lace. And there is a short white skirt, reminiscent of a cheerleader skirt.
Meow? Always be curious about new things, to learn new things and explore places. You should always be able to question everything. Meow? Anyone thirsty?
She is a celestial being.
But now is the time to come even deeper, in meditation. Meow?
She turns into a giant cat, bigger than a lion male with white fur, probably just because she wanted to do it. A cheerleader like Pussycat Girl, gets really happy and jumps up on her. Must be very soft fur, because the Pussycat Girl strokes with sprawling hands over the fur, so that the fur tickles her on the bum, and tickles her in between her fingers. Another cathuman bites in the big cat's tail.
Now it's meditation we're going to do, nothing else. Now you have to take your seats instead.
Everyone sits down on the chairs, and the big white cat places in the middle, and settles down.
And, close your eyes. I want you to imagine the sun sending out rays of different kinds. Some rays are fully visible during meditation and look like rays of self-shiny, self-luminous waterfall, and are as wide as chairs, coming straight from above. This light hits your head and illuminates you right through, so that you bath in this thick ray. It illuminates you from within, so you start self-shining. Your hands and your whole body gets the same color, as looking right into the dazzling light of the sun. Like a light bearer. Time to wake up, but still continue on closing your eyes. We can focus on a longer silence piece under another meditation. And for the sake of safety, we seal any open chakras to remain stable after this by visualizing a cross of light within a circle of light, of the dazzling light of the sun, to place, lying on the head. A cross of light within a circle of light, on the forehead where people say that the third eye is. A cross of light within a circle of light, at Adam's apple. A cross of light within a circle of light, on the heart in the middle of the chest. A cross of light within a circle of light, on solar plexus, just past the navel. A cross of light within a circle of light, on the spleen, just behind the elbows height. And the last cross of light within a circle of light, at the bottom of the backbone, where the chair is underneath us. Have a peaceful continued day. Then I would add that, you know that you can find treasures in small hot mini lakes up here. You can visit the underwater life of the Great Lake and the society down at the bottom of the lake. You can have a nice getaway with the old wooden Mississippi steamers on the lake. And you can also visit a secret fairy society, and even the Laughing Fairy Society, deep inside the astral forest you first walked through. Then the path to those places and many other places is invisible to the human eye. And with these words I need to send you back.
We'll see if the master likes this, considering that the master's opinions and values are far more important and superior than others. His ideas apply over others.
Well, it seems like we are back at the beginning, where the train will be soon. Oh shit, what was that? Something extremely big is up there, in the sky. You can start move yourself, stretch yourself so that you can feel that you are back in your body. And now, you can open your eyes.